going on today. Yeah, okay. Look who's here. Look who's here. This is Ritwik, Ritwik Goswami. You've seen him before. You've seen him before in my videos. He knows all about Project HearthFire. He loves this house. He's going to make a movie about it. Say a few words.
So yeah, I mean,
Face the camera.
we had been.
Don't be shy. Go in front of it.
My hair.
Your hair's perfect. Why are you worrying about your hair?
Okay, no. So
Nothing wrong with your hair. We have. Acha, your hair
Sorry.
should be this long.
no, my hair will be short by the time we shoot the video because I'm going to get rid of it. But
Why? Why should you get rid of your hair?
as ancient as
Why
my
aren't you facing the camera?
as ancient as my hair feels right now,
What's wrong with your hair? Why should you get rid of your hair?
because I've gone out of the charm.
You got out of the charm of it.
Yeah, but I have not. I have
It's
not.
royal hair.
We are talking about royalty in front of actual royalty.
Okay, Ritwik thinks I'm royalty. Okay. This
And
is the royal palace. Please, all of you.
If
Note.
you see her being and her face and her demeanor and her gait, I think we'll all be very easily be able to attest to the fact that this is somebody who is royalty. Royalty in a way that it doesn't necessarily have to do with being a king or queen in the definition as the state bestows upon you, but a king or a queen in the way you deal and you live your life, deal with or live your life. I have known Maya for about 12 13 years
yes.
now. And I think she has been one person who has consistently inspired me just by being. And as much as I've dug into her life and spent time with her to understand what forms like some of the most essential cores of her being, I think, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this house forms a very strong part of the core of the person that you are.
Absolutely.
And I think this has been a part of our conversations for close to, I would say, on and off for.
You first came here in when? 13, I think.
No, first time I came here was in 12.
12. You came here for that New Year, no? Rudrayo had come.
First, I had come for your birthday in 12.
Oh, yes, yes. You had come in 12 for my birthday.
Yeah,
That's right. That's right. You
50th?
still.
No.
No, it was just a random birthday.
Yeah.
It was my 55th.
55th, yeah. I remember.
I mean, I can't believe that. And now this time, I am going to be 66. So let's call that 666.
Also, I mean, there's also very important significance to, I think, your presence in my life is I had gotten to know you when I was a mess myself, and I was.
You had just fallen.
I had just fallen.
75 feet, right?
Fallen from grace, and I was a helpless mess in bed, and I think you were one of the people who had helped me.
I read your blog. You had written your blog when you were still ill, right?
Nah.
Yes, I had read that. I had read that blog. I came to know what had happened to you by reading that blog. Then I asked you.
Which is, I think, when that year 2011 is when we got to know each other.
Yes, yes,
and all the subsequent conversations.
Yes, in 12 you came for my birthday, and it was that birthday when I had that glaucoma and I had that eye problem.
Was it that year?
Yeah, it was that year.
So that was when our conversation started rolling. Initially, we did new friends too, as there was a lot of banter and frivolity, and we'd go to forum and all of those things. We'd go out to get momos somewhere.
Yes, I remember that.
But I think what I remember the most significantly from our previous meeting, which was I think right before, if I'm not wrong, it was on 2nd January 2020.
Yes. That was the last time we met.
Which was right before the COVID
pandemic.
Yes,
just struck. Before the. Yes.
And I mean, before all our lives turned topsy turvy,
Yes.
essentially.
But before that, we had met in 2015, and that's when we did those little videos.
Little videos,
Yeah.
but I'm sure we have met a
We
few
have
times
met several times in between, and we
because
have talked a lot. You know, we have had
yeah.
so many good conversations.
But 2020 was the time that I remember visiting you in this house, and we actually spoke about the possibility of documenting this. I
We have
mean,
done
I'm
it
sure
even
they
in
can't.
2015. We
I'm
had
sure we
discussed
have.
it, but
Yeah,
in
we have.
2020 we got serious
We
about
got
it,
serious about it,
and we said, okay, we are going to do it now.
and it's a pity that you guys can't kind of can't see the expanse of what lies behind the screen.
There's this expanse, and there's this depth of every of the all the lives lived here, and what those lives really meant, what they stood for.
I mean,
I
just
think the
imagine
people,
100 years of history, right?
yes, 100 years of history, and out of those 100 years my family has been here for 75.
You have been here for 66.
I've been here for 66. I was born here, so imagine.
So that's essentially like just by the mathematics
So
of it, that
isn't
is.
this worth documenting? I mean, this is a story. I'm writing this story, and I think the film, anyway, the film, bits and pieces of film are going to add value to the story. Like maybe it's not going to be one big documentary or
No, but
something
then
like that, but we are
as
going
the
to.
nature of documentary is a nature of documentary is something that once you start,
Yes.
when you embark upon the journey, it comes to life in its being, right?
Yes, yes,
It
yes.
just
That's
pieces
right.
just
That's
start
right.
getting
That's
to.
right. That's right.
So my idea, I think, is that as we document the 66th year of your being and also your being with the house, I think we can start to talk about uh, firstly what this house means as one of the oldest standing apartments in the city of Calcutta, what it means to the landscape of the city, and what it means as an entity that stood its ground for as long against the rapid encroachment by a lot of these promoters into all of these buildings around that have just been torn down and have been replaced by new apartments. And as a very robust, I wouldn't use the word analogy here, but as a euphemism almost for the life of Mahalakshmi, I would say, because she's also in her own microcosmic way, uh, the macro to which would be this apartment in her own microcosmic way, I would
That's a
say.
beautiful way of expressing it.
She has also stood her ground against the encroaching forces inside this very building. So if I were to look at this as a storyline, as a narrative evolving in both these layers of Mahalakshmi and the house together, I think there is a very robust connection to be found with the history of the city, with the history of the people around, and with the history of even I find it very interesting to understand that you and your parents who were not natively from the state of West Bengal,
No.
and how you've come to be and how you've come to
Yes.
completely live and authenticate your being as a Calcuttan more than a lot of us. I think that is a very interesting angle also in
Yes,
this possible
yes.
narrative.
So you see, there are so many storylines.
Absolutely, which is why I'm saying that the moment we start to
My mother would call them the Kale Kade, the
Kade
branch
Kade.
Stories.
The branch story.
Yes. With
And-
any epic, there are those branch stories my mother would talk about.
And very honestly, I think as Mahalakshmi stands uh, a, a very vibrant and a very life affirming person, as she has been to me and a lot of other friends of mine online. I think my mother is very close to her now also.
We have to meet up finally. Mother
You
and
guys
I
really
mean,
must.
this is just going on and on.
Yeah.
How long are you here for?
I'm leaving tomorrow morning, but I am back a few days after your birthday because I have a wedding to attend.
Okay. At least then we should meet your mother.
We should.
Yes.
This
About
should have
that.
happened 6 years back, or only when I
Yes,
called you
yes,
to my
yes.
sister's wedding.
Yes, yes, yes. I know. Things happen. Life happens. I remember when you called me
Yeah.
to, I was very sick with something
Yeah,
else
yeah,
at that
yeah,
time. I
yeah.
was not moving around at all.
So no, so as I was saying, I think Mahalakshmi is whole life and her whole being uh, has a lot to offer just in terms of an individual's journey, also juxtaposed uh, into the journey of a city to become a study of a person, a woman, an ethnography, uh, the story of the evolution of the architecture of a city, and these are the very many strands that I think we
And the
can
evolution of women in this city
absolutely.
and their journey, and maybe what I stand
I
for.
mean,
I stand for a
absolutely.
lot of things.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
somebody
if
who
you look
studied
at,
mathematics
yes,
and
and if you look at and left mathematics far behind. I am ashamed to say. I wish I could get back to it, but I don't think this has enough space right now.
the
This,
there is enough and ample more space. It's just that so much
yeah,
needless junk
I'm
needs
going
to
to
just be,
use mathematics to calculate how much money I need to restore this house.
which is what is also a very a hopeful outcome that we would uh, hope for. Outcome which we would hope for. I'm
Yes.
obviously failing with my words, but
No, it's okay to fail with your words.
what we are trying to understand and ascertain is we are trying to understand how we can mobilize the resources at our disposal
Yes, and how we can invite more resources to come our way.
to strengthening the life
Strengthening
of this.
the life, not the life and to make the potential fully come out. The potential is like it's I feel as if the beauty and the potential of this house and all that you can do with it right now, it's just under wraps, so to say.
Yeah,
I mean, there've been too many of these deaths in the family, too many negative, shall I say, negative challenges of that kind, and we have to rise above that now. We have to come out of that and rise and shine. What do you say?
I think it's imperative that we do,
It's imperative that we do.
and because there is so much beauty to still be excavated out of.
There is a lot of beauty here. When I get up in the morning and I see the remaining light after all these buildings have come up and all the depredations and all the destructions of trees and everything else, I still get up in the morning here and there are, at least 100 birds singing to wake me up.
And
And
just
this beautiful light that comes in, the light somehow finds its way into this house. However much you block it, it comes in.
to understand that all of this is happening, it's transpiring in the heart of the city, right? Like it's
The very heart
absolutely
of the
the
city. The very heart of the city.
beating heart of the city of
Maybe
joy.
these birds just like me. Maybe the birds like Maya Lakshmi Rao and the Raos.
I mean, how can they not? Look at that face.
Oh, Ritwik, look at your face. Show your face more to the camera. Come on.
My face right now, I look like uh,
You always look good to me. And I always look good to you.
that is true.
That's what matters, right? That's what
That is the
matters.
nature of
And
love.
let me tell you, whoever visits this house is overjoyed. They go back saying this has a very nice vibe, very special vibe.
Absolutely.
Everybody says that. They feel some vibe here and there.
As I always have,
Mm.
and which is why I've almost like whenever it's not that I get to visit the city very often anymore, and whenever I do visit, I try to come and see Maya because in this little time that I get to spend with her, I do feel re-energized, and I think that's the house, but also very important to acknowledge the fact that it is her primarily. That's the beauty of a being. So I think yeah. I mean,
We have made our first presentation on Project Hearthfire.
and we are hoping to come up
And
with a more
putting,
aesthetic
getting all
presentation.
this together and getting, the original aesthetic that was, very vital to this house. What my mother, my father, they filled it with something. There was an aura here, and that aura has to come back.
Yeah,
And there's certain things that have to be put in place for that aura to come back. That's important.
Yeah, and I hope that
I hope we can get going with this. And well, this will be a labor intensive project. So whatever anybody helps out with goes towards helping somebody earn their living.
Yeah.
Some working class person, lots of working class people will be involved in doing the work.
Absolutely.
We need. And
for sure.
Whatever it is that we manage to raise will help them earn their living. So that's a big part of it.
Which is the more important
And
part
that's
of it.
that's the more important part of it, because anything we do, it contributes.
Yeah.
And I think we Raos as a family, we were always contributing in that manner. We were always looking out for people. We were always looking out for the people around us, trying to help them fulfill their own dreams, their own potential. We've had so many people here. My mother has educated so many people, taught so many
I
people.
mean, in a way that's
Yes.
pretty much what you do even now.
Yes.
Help other people realize their potential.
Yes. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the way we realize our potential. We are all interconnected. I mean,
Yeah, and that's, I think you've always been one of the strongest examples in my head for just that how you live through enriching a community and how you take everybody ahead with you. I would say.
thanks. I feel affirmed.
Um,
I've been quite depressed of late, due to various things like the water situation. And many people watching this video would know about the water situation because I've spoken a lot about it. I have 2, 3 blog posts on that theme.
and very honestly, most people, to be fair, I think a lot of people that the kind of lives that we lead and the kind of instant gratification that we all live for nowadays, I think a lot of people would have caved in or budged or not have been able to hold fort the way that you have against all of the
Odds.
adversities
Yes, well,
that you've been going through.
I have to do that, right? I owe it to the future. I owe it.
You owe it to the legacy of
Yes.
your
I mean, I've
family.
always maintained that heritage is about the future. I mean, it's something dead and gone if you're not taking it forward to the future. So there it is. And I think what I have inherited is well worth passing on to people. Well worth it.
Interestingly, I've never been here in daylight.
Then you have to come in daylight. You have to come in daylight with your camera and you have to film it. I mean, this is, the Zoom does a poor job. Like, it sort of picks up all kinds of things from the background. This is not Zoom really. I've not yet got the hang of positioning this wide angle camera properly. So it tends to do all sorts of funny things. So, basically it picks up, a cupboard somewhere, a door somewhere, and it starts focusing on those things rather than on us. So this may not be the best looking video, but I hope this will inspire people.
No, but yeah, I mean, we can definitely have workarounds. Like we can get an actual camera.
Yeah, we can get an actual. So that is up to you now to visit in the daylight hours. Get an actual camera, and we can also record. We'll also do a technical roundup of the house to see what actually needs attention. Certain things have to be fixed, certain things can be improved. There are certain I have so many mental maps, I draw them in my head like mandalas, like this. I have so many of these, it's almost like artwork in my head. If I could draw and paint, I'd be sitting and drawing all those things. Maybe I should learn to draw and paint.
You do, don't you?
I do a little bit, but not that much because of my eye also. I try not to strain it too much. Actually, I love to sit and draw on the computer. I like doing that. So that's it for today then. I hope this actually recorded. Bye folks, we'll be back
very, very soon.
Very soon with a proper film. Now it's about time to get on with filming. Bye.